I believe in every woman to be empowered to live to the best, to however they want, no matter what goes on in their life. We can't stop. We got to keep pressing.
Mm-hmm.
But life will always want to seem that we need to stay down. We have to stay in depression. We have to have an anxiety. We have to feel that we're not worthy. We have no virtue because something, somewhere, somebody has put that in our. At what particular time were you at when that was deposited?
So speaking with you and meeting you, it was
Okay.
like, oh, like it was so incredibly refreshing
Mhm. Uh-huh.
because you started with empowerment, right? You're like, I am here to remind women of their power. Like that really resonated with me. And so I wanted to be able to like just sit without all the chaos and mayhem.
All right. And that was, yeah.
It's a lot going on. Although we were kind of in our own
Well, yeah, it was because, like you said, you don't get when you're focused. The outside noise you don't allow to distract you
yeah.
when you're focused.
When you're focused.
Mm,
That's the part.
that's the part.
So there were a lot of things,
Yeah.
all the things that you talked about as
Okay.
far as empowerment, healing,
Okay.
like the power of healing,
Okay.
natural healing,
Mhm.
and being present, right? So,
Was probably so much, you know what I'm saying? When
yeah.
for me, like, I'm like you, I like everything authentic and natural. So a lot of times that setting may just be that setting at that time, right?
Mhm.
So when you're saying this, it's like, oh my goodness, this is the things that I
That
right?
came from me?
Right?
Yeah.
Because when you're projecting and you're empowering, it's not about you. So when you're enlightening somebody, a lot of times you don't even remember what you're saying. You just know at that moment you're used.
That's right.
Mhm.
Yeah. So tell me how you got to be where you are.
Well, let me see. For me, this is a journey. There were 10 years of my life.
Mhm.
I sat in stillness, even from people, because I had to. For me, it was more of looking within for myself and healing, and having to turn out the noise, whether it meant for family, friends, or whatever. Because during that healing point, you have to really like get away from all the garbage that detaches yourself. And that's what happens when you are the one that's always the giver. And when you give of yourself and you never replenish, so it sucks the life out just like a leech that sticks on your body. And so my path started really early on, just, as a child, just being very independent, having to grow up really quick and things like that. So to navigate life for me is different than others. There's certain fear factors that I don't have because from my, upbringing and childhood. And so you had to find a space in your head to survive
Yeah.
because sometimes your voice is silenced. And when your voice is silenced as a child, we're not able to project of what we're really feeling. And then what happens is nobody really ever looks at the root cause of why the child is developed the way that he is. And then they go into an adulthood and it was like, oh my goodness. And then you start realizing, these are some of the things that I carried on. And I don't like these. This is not who I am. Maybe that's what was projected down from generation to generation to generation. Well, here it has to stop.
It does.
So when you become that person, you're not the most liked.
No, because you've created boundaries and you're on your healing process, and some people don't like that
No,
because they don't benefit from that.
no, they don't benefit. They don't benefit off your elevation.
That's right.
When you little yourself is when they can dominate. And because of a person like I am, I don't really need like spotlight, right? I don't need all that. I'm one of those people like, you know what? I'm happy for you. Like, do your thing.
Mm,
Like, really, really happy because I'm going to do me
yes.
regardless. And that's how I always have been. During those spaces, I was always projecting and doing things for this person, doing things for that, supporting because I believe in community. That's just me. I believe in planting a seed somewhere. I may not even know these group of people. I'll just go sit in. I like the vibe that they're doing. Hey, you got to respect. Go ahead and plant that seed, right? Because when you're doing that, you're doing it for yourself. What you see and how you envision is where you plant at. And so during those times of those 10 years, I knew exactly when I came out what I wanted to do, what I needed to do, and what order to do it in to begin. 'Cause, there's always a beginning.
Mhm.
Once you get in that beginning and you get to that middle mark and you say, "Oh, okay, I think I got this, figured out a little bit,"
Just a
right?
little.
Just a little bit, right? And because you have to keep going. And that's where this was a journey for me from a healing process to where, I had to find my own greatness. It's like I knew it, but I let distractions, people's opinions, old wounds of words that you carry on that I didn't need to carry anymore. So I made it to where if it was my mind, if I heal, that I would empower women to speak, that there's life after pain. You don't have to walk in it. It's not your identity. You don't have to carry it for the rest of your life. And so that was me. I carried it silently. I can mask, look like I have it all together, strength and all. But deep down, I am fighting a battle in my mind that every day that I have to show up for myself, because if I don't, things will crumble and we can't crumble. And that's a lot of things that women they're not able to speak on. Like they're carrying which is a title of a mother, a title of a wife, a daughter, a boss, whatever the title is, but you're not your title. I'm still a woman. I'm a woman. And where do we see ourselves as a woman? Is that all that I am? No, that's not all that I am. That's what my life that I chose, that I was blessed with, right? But that's not who I am. I need to do what's best for me. And people don't understand that. They don't understand that when you have to do you, really do you for your own healing process, people don't understand that. They think me it's selfish. Why? Because I'm giving to you and not giving to myself. That's not healthy. And that's where the empowerment comes in, is because of the healing process I had to go through, because I was always in a silent moment. I was always in silence. So silence became easy for me because silence for me was a way where I could protect myself, to where I could really sit back and look. Even as a child, I can observe. I was observant as a very young age
Mhm.
and silent, but I knew how to speak when I needed to speak. And most of the time when I spoke, it was like, oh my goodness, she talks.
Yeah.
But when I spoke, it's because I meant it. Because I've always been one that I don't really want to overspeak if I don't know what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
And especially if my life is not right.
Mm.
How can I be speaking on the body? It heals itself. And I can't even heal my own self. How?
Mm.
How's that life experience? How
Mhm.
can I be authentic in my life if I can't even heal my own body? And that's where the journey began. And in that time of 10 years was healing for me. I learned my body. I learned how my mind worked, all of that, how it connected. And a lot of times we're like, "Ah, do you know what you're talking?" I know exactly what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
If you stop the noise and just enough to figure out who you are and how this body works, you trust everybody else, but you don't even trust yourself to dig deep, to understand yourself and dig for the knowledge for your own self, for somebody to dictate for you. That's where that came. I got tired of everybody dictating how my life needed to be. Not per se, maybe personally, but socially, how we're supposed to be as a woman. A lot of times our voices are silent because maybe we're too empowering, right? We're too empowering. We don't want a woman like that
Yes, too much.
around my woman. Her eyes, the
She may
blinders might
catch
come out.
wind of
She
her
might
own
catch
power,
exactly.
and then what would that look like?
And exactly. Because we're so used to operating in the pain that
Yeah.
people's able to benefit off of. And enough is enough. That to me is very selfish. How can you say you love humans in general if you can see that a person's really in pain and you're a part of that affliction?
Yeah.
Because I believe the greatest gifts comes with the greatest afflictions.
Mm.
Somebody who's really afflicted, that gift that comes there, and I say, well, how does it? You don't really want to go through the affliction that someone has to get that gift.
Yeah.
Trust and believe.
They don't wanna go through the journey, they just want the
Right.
result, they want the destination.
Right. You have yours. I have mine.
Mm.
I have my own struggle that I have to master. Not to be so, I don't not have time to help you, but I can't help somebody who's not willing to help themselves. If a person like me has done the work, right? And a lot of times they don't believe that you've really done the work.
Mhm.
They'll go listen to somebody else on the outside that really maybe heard it from somebody down the street.
Mhm.
It's a popular thing. So it seems like it's, really going well. They don't really have the knowledge and the true understanding. They have the show. And that's where I am. I'm not for show. I've been through things, I've seen things, I've overcame things, and I know that the body itself can heal it if it's properly in alignment for your life. And that's where the journey is where I am today. Is when you saw me over there, I specifically intentionally put myself in that room, knowing
Mm.
that something was going to come of it.
Yeah.
Because my mind says, whatever I think, I can have,
Mm.
literally. But am I ready to receive it? Am I aligned of what is going to be given to me? Because you can get it, and then what? Are you able to nurture it
Right.
properly? Or am I just going to destroy it because I'm still not healed enough?
Mm. To be able to handle.
Right?
Yeah.
Because we can say, oh, okay, okay, but you really got to know, like, when you're ready to receive everything that you've envisioned for your life, you got to be ready for it. And when you're ready for it, make sure that you're nurturing it and
Mhm.
you're caring for it. Because if not, I mean, then it's like, then I think even deeper because of everything that I get through. And I'm thinking legacy. My mind is continuing legacy. What legacy am I going to leave behind of the woman who I am to pass down to my children and my children's children? What better role model than your kids could have, than their own parents, to even see the real work,
The real work.
right?
Mhm.
Because you don't want to leave them blinded.
Or unprepared.
None of that, right? None of that.
Yeah.
So it's more than just me. There's livelihood that is connected to me.
Absolutely. There's generations that will be affected in all of their access points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not only that, the example that you become for the bloodline of your family, the ones that were throwing the daggers, the naysayers, you know, friends, even smile
Mhm.
in your face, act like they support. They're not really supportive. They just don't want you to figure out what you got going on, is really the bomb diggity.
Mm.
And if you ever figure it out, then it's going to be like, oh, wait a minute, why am I even around these people? Because a lot of times we don't see that. We see the kindness in a person's heart. You don't look at like, okay, they may kind of be kind of shysty. You know what I'm saying? You would
Mhm.
hope that they have the same heart as you, but a lot of times they don't,
I believe that.
right? And so so when progress comes, they don't really like progress. You can always say, there's things, that show, but you still have to keep climbing. So that's where that comes in for empowerment. I believe in every woman to be empowered to live to the best, to however they want, no matter what goes on in their life. We can't stop. We got to keep pressing.
Mm.
But life will always want to seem that we need to stay down. We have to stay in depression. We have to have an anxiety. We have to feel that we're not worthy. We have no virtue. Because something, somewhere, somebody has put that in our head. And at what particular time were you at when that was deposited? It means how deep that is.
Mhm.
Some is just on the surface, some are just really deep.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's childhood trauma.
A lot of times.
And we don't want to go there. We want to stay on the surface. We don't want to go what nobody wants to talk about
Yeah.
because we're protecting and we're not protecting ourselves.
It's a self-sacrifice that's happening. Yeah, and it's scary, right? When you talk about childhood wounds, you talk about
We
the
manifest
deeper
it every
work.
time we think about it, every time that's unspoken and it's not put out. We manifest it every time he speaks, coming back and
Mm.
coming back and coming back. That was one of my other healings. I had writings in a briefcase for 15 years, all because I didn't want to offend nobody. But this could really be healing to me because it's part of my truth, right? So to sit there and act, how can I bring forth without harming anybody or disrespecting anybody. But everybody who would read this would know where you were planted in my life,
Wow.
right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. I don't have to put names attached. But people are curious.
Mhm.
So they're going to read,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
They're going to read. I don't think a lot of them were ready to hear what truth was told, right? And so, how is this person still standing? How is this person still standing? Knowing, and it was just a small portion, just a snippet,
Yeah.
because if I was probably to tell everything, they may not really be able to handle
Right.
because there's the root cause and then what comes after that.
Mhm.
And everybody's always used to adolescence. I have a bad child behavior. We don't know what's going on. Medically diagnose certain things. We never look at the root cause. Why? What do you think the percentage is that a child is actually silenced to even express fully to understand what is going on? Now we go to school. We're acting. We can't focus because you know what? Either everything's erratic at home.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're hearing.
Mhm.
You don't know what kind of behaviors. Then they come to school and you have the kids and all this other stuff. And at that particular time, they're diagnosing it. Why I understand it? Because I was that child. I'm not speaking on anything I don't know. I was that child.
Yeah.
Nobody looked at the root cause. Let me put a stigma of what she is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I'm sitting here thinking in my head, that's not me.
Mhm.
Are you? That's okay. And then I knew, well, you know what? You keep showing that. That's what they're going to see. They can't see anything else but the behavior problem. They can't get past the behavior to see that there's something in here. But nobody ever looks at why a child responds. They don't look at the root cause and dig deep. So then we carry it on into adulthood.
Mhm.
And then we wonder, like, let's say relationships, whether it's at work, whether it's, a spouse or you're dating, friendship, we bring that same, they bring their stuff, you bring your stuff, everybody, we all messed up. Figure it out.
Yeah.
Some are, willing to dig deeper.
Yeah.
Some aren't. And then you got, the behaviors and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's another thing was I said, you know what? I can't be around that. I have to have a space where, everybody is like at least striving to heal. Healing means like, you know what? You want to see yourself do great things, whatever it is. Don't mimic nobody. You have your lane, I have my lane. You know what? We're happy for each other. We uplift each other,
Mhm.
genuinely uplift each other. We're no competition. Why is it so hard to compliment somebody? When you see the work that's been done, women have the worst time complimenting a woman to say she's beautiful.
Yeah.
You know the time it takes for her to put her makeup on. You can see she's like head to toe. That took some time. How do you know that she wasn't complimented at home? But she had the audacity. You don't know what went on behind closed door.
That's right.
She could have had her head beat in.
Yeah.
Something could have just happened, lost her job,
Yeah.
a sickness that she was just diagnosed with. And here you can't even say, you look beautiful today.
Yeah.
Girl, look at you. All dressed up and looking nice.
Mhm.
You don't know what you could have done. And that's the problem with humanity.
Yeah.
We don't know how to be a light in a dark place.
Mhm.
Everybody is always trying to be the top of the
Mhm.
top of the top. That you can't even look, if they don't look a certain way, you don't want to deal with them.
Yeah.
They're not shaped a certain way, you can't be around them. To empower. That when you literally love yourself, you don't see all that. You should always want to help somebody along the way, somewhere.
It takes nothing from you, right? It takes nothing
It's
from someone
free
to be able to
to do that.
plant a seed.
Right. And so when I came to the function at Mercedes and Matt's.
Mhm.
I came to plant a seed, and I'm here talking to you. So it's divine connection.
It is.
I believe when your intentions are right. I believe when you're truly in the journey that you are for yourself and you're intentional about how you're healing and what do you do, and don't break that contract with yourself.
Mm.
And that's where I'm at. So now I'm seeing results that I go, man, this could happen a long time ago. If I just acted right. Right?
Ain't that the
Right. No, no,
story
no,
though?
it's serious because you have to deal with old habits. And those habits you have to break, every day. Every day your mind is, saying something that um, wants to keep you in doubt. Because when you are going after a vision for your life, sometimes it does seem delusional. Like, how am I going to get through here? The money don't even look right.
Mhm.
The support that, I thought I was going to have, that's not even in the picture, you know? Um, I put all this work into it, and I don't even know, like, am I ready or am I not ready? Like,
Mhm.
and then it's like, no, you just got to step in it.
Yes.
Because we never step. That's where we get in our head, is
Mhm.
the actual action, the motion. We have all the education for it. You can do textbook, but when it comes to what's really inside of you,
Oh yeah, the creativity.
creativity,
Create.
that's when you hold back.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, do you think it's going to work? It's not going to work. And you know what? I had to get to tell people, I said, it's not your vision. That's my vision. Opinions are nice,
Yeah.
but it takes away from, since you're saying creativity, it takes
Yeah.
away from your creativity of who you are.
It-
So outside opinions is good, but your opinion matters most because we're not like the other creator. Everybody has their creation of who they are. So I can't mimic you. You can't mimic me because you're never going to be me. I'm never going to be you.
Mhm.
I like what you do and you like what I do. And that's what people understand. Why can't we compliment that? Why do I have to be like, okay, I'm trying to steal something from you and you try to,
Mhm. It ain't gotta be a
it don't have to
competition.
deny that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, how you have, what do you call it, group singers?
Mhm.
They know what they're supposed to say,
You know your lane. Yes, you know your key. You know exactly where you're
right?
supposed to. Yeah.
And they love what happened to the group singers, you know what I'm saying?
Outta
Because
here.
somebody can have one portion of it. The other
Mhm.
person can have the other portion.
That's right.
And the other person has the other portion. Before you know, it's like, oh my goodness, you got Motown records up in here.
Hello.
But people don't see that.
Yeah.
And they're not willing to put the work in. They want to talk about it,
Mhm.
but they really don't want to put the work in. And that's the problem. So the empowerment is to show you that, hey, you can do this as a woman.
Mm.
You can do it, but are you willing to put the work in? What kind of work are you going to put in? What's your worth ethic? Don't just keep coming out here and say, oh, I do this. And then your worth that you're showing up, up late to a person's place and she's waiting on you or
Mhm.
whatever.
Mhm.
Or you say you're going to do something and you don't do something.
Mhm.
Now I'm recommending you.
Mhm.
Now, and then over here, then you just doing all, okay, now you jack up my name.
That's right.
Don't,
Mhm.
that's not,
I don't play about reputation, man.
don't play about my reputation.
That's right, because you worked so hard. You
And
worked so hard to
that's
build it.
because that's the woman. That's who you are.
Mhm.
And I always tell people all the time, anybody who I ever work, and I'm as real as can be. I have my off days. Don't get me wrong. I'm not, but I always tell people, I will work with somebody and give you everything that I have. But if by any chance it interferes with my businesses of what I have going on for my flow, that's not sacrificing. So it just means it's not a good fit. Season's over.
Mhm.
It's not in alignment. And so this walk is all about that for me. We have to be in alignment. If you're not, if it's doing anything that it could destroy what I work so hard for,
Yeah.
which is my peace too, because that
Mhm.
comes with it. And that's a time of it's because that has me unsettled.
Yeah.
Don't be mad if I say, okay, my time's over with. I may be able to support in different ways, but I just can't support on that level anymore.
Yes.
So we have different levels of where we can support, right? So why are we held accountable when your sister says, I can't help right now where I used to, but I can help in other ways? Now because you're going over for but you was helping them. Now doors
Mhm.
open for you. I can help her. but I can't help like I used to because I'm pursuing.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
Mm.
Empowering women to say you can still pursue. Don't let nobody hold you back. You can't let nobody hold you back over your what your gift is for
Yes.
somebody else's. I'm gonna help you, but mine's always gonna come first. And that's a lot of times where you get drained because you're putting somebody else and you're taking away from you.
Why is that? Why do you believe that women self-sacrifice in the ways that we do?
You know what? If you're a nurturing woman, you're always gonna sacrifice. Always. Always. There's something about you. If you're a woman of nurture, you're gonna nurture to the point of you know what? Because your love expands that much. And that's where we get hurt. We expand to the point so we compromise. The minute we take on somebody else's responsibility that doesn't even belong to us, we have now said yes to the dysfunction and the responsibility. And we do that often,
Often.
often
Yeah.
because you want them to you feel I want you to heal. I want you to feel whole. I want you to feel happiness. I don't want you to feel depressed. I don't want you to feel anxious. You're doing all that for somebody else and nobody's doing that for you.
Mhm.
Now you're pouring, right? Because you have that light. You're pouring, but nobody's pouring into you. And you're pouring. But who pours into you? Who's your light? We all have to have a light that I'm a spiritual woman. So, I believe in my faith. That's it. And I tell people that don't play with me about that because there's nobody who's really been here. I know you could. So my faith, because my whole life journey and walk has before I even knew what faith was, I survived it. Survived it. And I thought, my gosh. And when I became a spiritual walk, but it was meant, my journey. I had to go through all those things, all those disappointments, all those pain, uncertainties, all those rejections, all those, you know, uh, different situations that had shaped me. And then I said, you know what? I keep replaying the hurt and the pains through different stages of my life. Anytime that I patient was going to come, those came back. Those triggers came back in my head. Well, I had to, crunch down and study and that stuff, all that noise or kind of, I have responsibilities. I have things I have to do. Have noise always trying to come and block me from my greatness. That's right. And that's what, those are the roots. Those are the symptoms. Those are the things that you start feeling and, you're like, why am I feeling? Those are the things that I sat for 10 years to figure out who I was. Once I figured out, I started on this. You have some deep wounds, Regina. You don't, because what happens is if the mind is sick, the body is sick. That's right. People don't understand that. It's so true. The mind is sick,
It's the realest thing.
the body is sick. Yeah. So if your mind's sick and you start having, and you're not thinking, like, maybe we need to check with the mind first. What are you going through? What have you been subjected through the most of your life? What kind of stress? Hold stress in your body? All that. And once started getting afflicted in my body, I said, wait a minute. I know where this is coming from. I know better. And I had to because my body was being afflicted now. And I knew better. But I allowed myself to get in a place to where like the noise would just keep coming. Functional. Yeah. But that noise is there every day. I'm functional. That noise is there every day. I don't like if I'm stagnant, that puts me in a bad place. I don't like to be stagnant. Myself one day in the mirror, no lie. And I called myself out in that mirror. I had tears down my eyes. I said, girl, what in the heck is wrong with you? You didn't slip on yourself. You didn't shortchange yourself. You better than this. You way better than this. And what are you doing here over here soaking in this misery in your head? When you know how to heal yourself, to be hard headed. For whatever reason. Why? Why are we so afraid to heal?
Did you feel at one point
No, not at all. I wasn't worthy because what happens is when a lot of times when you become a spiritual person, okay, humble. I'd rather feed somebody before myself. I'm just a servant. But how are you a servant?
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
can be servants, but not to the way to where you're sacrificing yourself. Does that make sense?
So when you were journeying through this teen experience for
Uh-huh.
you, how were you able to navigate the wounds that you needed to take a deeper look at and say, we got work to do?
This is where my fitness came in.
Okay.
So I got it really involved in fitness. I was so happy. My God, I couldn't even breathe. Even 5 minutes on the treadmill, I was thinking, yeah. And I'm talking to myself. I'm like, you know what? You have got to be kidding me because I've always been athletic. So I know better. And so now I'm just sitting here beating myself up like, okay, this is what you get. You got to go through the sickness. It's your sister. You can't breathe. Your body's hurting. Everything hurt. Everything ache, pain, everything. You feel like this time I was in my 40s and I stuck with it. And I just said, I'm going to do it. I have to because my body is feeling horrible. I hadn't even gotten to the internal yet. We're talking about, So I was like, okay, this is, and you look at history and hereditary and different things, and he said, nah, I'm not. That looks like a whole line. What he has broken any generational curses over there. I can't be. I already see where that's going. If I don't change, happens as my nutrition changed. First it was my nutrition, and then it became physical. And when my physical and everything, I was able to stabilize and mentally stable. And so mentally, the clarity that I had, I was all into detoxing my mind spiritually, really intentionally doing it and being consistent with it.
Consistency.
And I believe that moment at my age that you face different things. I was perimenopause and stuff like that. I don't believe in hormone therapy, so I had to be able to figure, Regina, what you gonna do because you're in this and and this is coming up. Now you're already doing what you're doing. Now you
Now you think these changes are happening without my permission, okay? And I'm already dealing with the things that has happened.
so now the numbers come on top of this. So
Yeah.
like, okay. And so preventative, what can I do to prevent it? Because I don't want anything reoccurring again because I don't work too hard. And so that was the working out and my nutrition stabilized me and was helping me to think clearly because what you feel yourself, what you're feeling in your body helps your brain function. It does. Okay. The fogginess and everything. So I could see the things more clearer and see more truthfully and quit hiding the reality of what's going on because that becomes picture perfect. Everybody's dressed, everybody's smiling, picture perfect. And then when the camera's lights off, I mean, yeah, that's not nowhere.
The real deal comes out, and you're like, oh,
Exactly.
yeah.
I don't wanna live that. I wanna live what I see, and that's in peace. And so, in the work, if anybody who's around me is not willing to put in some work for their own self, and then you're gonna just come and disrupt me. That's not gonna happen because I'm fighting for myself now. This is the fight for me. At this age of 82, this is the fight for me. I've experienced so much in my life and seen so much and put in the work to get where I'm at today. I'm not gonna like just let anybody just come in and ruin that.
So
So when I tell people all the time, I said, "What do you do?" I said, "This is what I." Oh no, that's it. That's all I did. I had some. I was under medical care, holistically because that's the way that I was going to go. That's what I believed in, and but I had to era that I wasn't used to. And I said, "Well, I'm not familiar with this, but I read up because I research a lot. The person that I chose, I had known since she was 11 years old.
so there's already a trust right there. There's like an embedded trust that's already there.
Definitely, yeah. You gotta trust it because when it's for my healing and what I believe in how to heal, because you're putting your hands on me. That's my temple.
Yeah.
So if I'm a spiritual person and I believe when you deposit your hands on me, whatever's in you is coming.
That's right. There is an energy, no doubt. The spiritual exchange, no doubt.
Okay. So if I'm in a vulnerable state, my body's in a vulnerable state, and you don't even have a foundation and you're supposed to be body. That was enough to me. So she just so happened to at this age, she's a chiropractor. And I was like, okay, I know you. I know everybody. You know what I'm saying? I've been around you a long time. And that was where the actual journey where the once I was nutrition I already had down. So I knew I had to have some. And once I had the work done, I'll never forget what she said. She said, your body is not going to be the same anymore before. My mind is saying, if this is what you tell me and I believe in healing, then I believe what she's because now I gotta trust now. My body's never been the same. My body has never been the same. I'm moving and doing stuff that a 52-year-old they say shouldn't be done.
Mhm. We met. Did you know I was a chiropractor? About a while.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I didn't know. And then when I found out, I was like, okay, because I I believe in, right? I believe in that alignment. So I know where my how my body works and I know from that point, I've never been the same. Like literally, athletically. My body feels honestly, my body feels like I'm in my 20s.
You have
Fountain of youth. They don't understand
yes.
that all the time. Let me tell you, I tell people that, and they don't. I don't know why they don't believe. They don't. I don't know what. I came back a year of work, and I'm not kidding you. It looked like somebody had dropped me. Like, did somebody abuse you as a child? And she's joking because and I mean, did you have any evidence? Yeah, I've had a lot of accidents because I was very, tomboyish and stuff. So I mean, I started thinking, well, dang, things. This is probably what happened.
Yeah.
That my body went through this damage. So committed to that, being faithful of that, and still staying with my nutrition, continue with my workouts. Before you know it, I was just like, I mean, it's been crazy. I can't explain from that moment to now, because that was part of the healing journey, right? I had to go through all that. I'm dealing with in that silence before I even went to chiropractic. I'm figuring all this stuff out. So now I have somebody that I trust. Not only that, she's always saying, I pray for you. And so that was another thing. It's like, okay, Regina, you've been quiet. You haven't prayed in a while. Times I wasn't praying. This is that fight, that fight, that survival. I was in the fight where I didn't even feel worthy enough to pray. I didn't even have the energy at that. And it was even during that time. And then, like I said, it was at that time and I looked in the mirror and I said, you know what? You can't even pray for yourself. You can't. You're just choosing not to. For why? Why are you abusing yourself? Why do we abuse ourselves knowing that we don't like abuse? Because it keeps manifesting. And we do certain things that is not healthy for us. That's a form of abuse, but we do it. And then when you get, like you said, when you get past that and you have that healing and you look at things differently more because we're not promised tomorrow. We don't know if we're going to have breath in our body in the morning. Why not do the best? Why not do the greatest that you can do each day? Each day is a new day. Each day is a new day to do something great, even if it's from little to the greatest. So every get up where I'm going to work or whether I'm training, my mind is always saying, why are you here? And what is your why? My why is because you know what? I deserve everything that's in here that I believe for myself. And believe it and know that to get it and the right timing and the right connection. Because you don't want just anybody to work so hard for that you kept so sacred. And knowing that the people that is going to come into your life is going to sing.
Days that because we're all humans having a human experience. I mean, we're spiritual as flesh, but when we have those harder days, how do you?
On the hard days, I talk to myself a lot. I'm always saying, Regina, you're gonna get through this. You gotta do this. Quit overthinking it. You've already been through so much. And I do this honest because there's times for whatever reason, every time that I have to train, it always comes. And I'm always sitting there. Regina, you know why you're here. You know you're bettering yourself. You're going to be healthy. You're not overdoing it. You're not, all that. Are you kidding me? Be some doing nothing. None of this will come to me. Then I have to get up and knowing that I'm doing something for my. This comes up. Why? It always does. And it's a constant fight. So I'm always constantly, I'm speaking life into myself. You have to speak life into these dry bones.
Yeah.
If nobody's going to speak life into you, you have to be able to speak life into yourself because that's what the empowerment, because if I can't even empower myself, how can I empower anybody else? So those empowerment sessions, even for myself, are not the greatest. Sometimes I'm just happy. Sometimes, you know what? I'm really speaking. I would speak to somebody who was not doing right. I say those things. If those are not hype sections where it's time to hype me up. These are times for transformation, where it's time for you to let's stop this. This is where you need to be. This is not a good place. People don't really realize that when you're a purposeful person, you're ambitious. It's hard for people to understand that you can't stop. If you stop, that means and a lot of people don't understand it, so it could get very lonely with your vision because sometimes there's people who think, well, how much longer do I have supporting you with your vision? Nobody asked. It's nice if somebody can support, yeah, right? But a lot of times they can't carry that. It's too heavy for them. It's too long. They want to see something overnight. Takes time. You have to work at it. You have to make sure that everything is in the right place for you, not for somebody. Oh, so and so's doing it. Oh, they're doing it. That's not my vision. Some things could help, but then other things it says, where do I take that creativity for myself? So you can never let somebody put some vision into you. It's for you. That's what makes you unique, authentic, organic. How do we walk in our being saying that we're authentic and organic and we're not even who we say we are? And that's where I come in. I believe in just and just like I'm sitting here with you telling women, hey, be authentic. They have to respect you and meet you where you're at. If they don't, then they're not your people. They don't need to be around you. If you have to be someone else around somebody, you're dimming your light. I have to dim light for I'm not speaking from arrogancy. Who are you? You know what I'm saying?
It's who
Where's
are
this
you and how dare you?
respect that I'm supposed to have for myself?
Yeah.
And you want me to dim that for you. But because society, oh, they look important. Oh my God, give a dang. I don't care who you are. I know who and when you know who you are, really know who you are and the power that you have that's inside of you, you walk different. You look at things different. You hear things different. And that's who I am. So when you met me that was what I was doing there. Yeah. I wanted to see how in a different setting. I put myself in a different setting and I said, you know what? I like this. I like this vibe, you know? And normally I don't get out much. But when I do, it's because, like I said, it's intentional. And so if I keep coming, or and I get to be around, different women, empowering women, because then again, I- I'm not for everybody, but I am for somebody. You know, because so you get along, but that's nice, but you're just not for me. We might be at the same setting, you're just not. It's not meant for me to be connected to. But yeah, that's it.
You said stillness, stagnancy. What's the
Stillness, I can be stillness in my peace.
Yeah.
Like you just there ain't no movement like that.
thing? Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like anything that's not growing is dying. I have to grow daily, daily. And some people can't understand that. Really trying to invest into myself, learning something. I have to learn something because if I'm at any situation that I'm in or meeting somebody,
No, no, no. It's going in and out. So let me pause real quick because it's trying to connect. Give me just 1 second. Are you green? Blue. Yeah, it's going in and out. So what I'm gonna do, give me one moment. And this is what it was kind of doing a little bit earlier, but that's why we have it. So let me know when it turns green for you. You get okay, it's green for me too. We're still rolling. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm gonna ask you again. When you talk about stagnancy
Mm-hmm.
and stillness,
Okay.
right? The reason why I ask what does that mean for you
Mm-hmm.
is because there are women who believe that they're synonymous and they're not, right? And you know that from lived experience, they're
Right.
not,
Right.
right? So stagnancy is not in motion, but
Mm-hmm.
that it's not always equivalent to
Mm-hmm.
just hustling and grinding and doing just to be doing
Right.
versus honoring the presence of stillness and all that that brings with healing and enlightenment and awakening and everything. So that's why I want to know your opinion about your perspective with stillness
Mm-hmm.
versus stagnancy.
Okay. For me, for like I said, with stillness, because I had to be still.
Mhm.
I wasn't stagnant, meaning in my stillness of healing, I was still in motion. So when I was in that stillness during that time, learning who I was, there was something that was birthed out of me,
Yeah.
and I was in. It was like you know how like the butterfly in the cocoon,
Mhm.
yeah. And during that stillness, with no distraction, I was building, writing things I needed to take care of. Because once I come out with this, it's already going to be ready, like I was saying. And so during that time, I was able to birth the business. So I wasn't stagnant. I don't like stagnant.
Right.
So you can be in your peace, but in that peace, are you doing the work?
Yeah.
Right? You have to put in the work. And in that work, there should be some birthing. There should be some things, some revelation going on.
Yes.
You start figuring out who you are
Mhm.
and why and all this other stuff. That's where the creativity comes in. This is where the birthing.
That's right.
But we don't know how to stand in that stillness enough to know who we are.
Yeah.
And then become stagnant because there's no movement. You can look busy. People think they're busy and they run. You can run, but you can run in place too.
Mhm.
And go nowhere.
Where
Nowhere.
you still have the same chaos and mayhem that you started with. No peace,
No
no
peace.
growth,
No growth.
no creativity,
Nothing.
no healing.
Nothing. No, that is a poor mindset. And I hate to say it like this, but I have to be truthful. It's a low life mindset.
It is.
When people want to stay in that unhealthy environment in their mind, there's something that says that about you. If a person likes to start trouble, lies, likes to see conflict, you know, but you had another person who likes, peace, no drama, and you bring that over here to me, what does that say about you?
Yeah.
That's an unstable mind,
Mhm.
right? Something's not healthy about that. That you can see peace, but it bothers you. So let me go ahead and be that person to bring some chaoticness because
Yeah.
I don't like what peace looks like. I like this over here. And it's too, somebody else has to be in here with me
Mm.
so we can keep this up.
Yes.
Because if not, I have to be forced to look at myself. So it takes the attention off of them, puts the attention onto you
Mhm.
when it was never meant for you. So now you done took on somebody else's characteristics because they've been around too long. The residue then came on you.
Mm.
Then you wonder why, like, I never used to itch over here like this.
Mm.
Now all of a sudden I'm itching, like, I never,
Mhm.
they were way in too close.
Close.
And then you went, wait, and that's another thing we don't realize. We don't see those things because we're so distracted. We're not in tune with ourselves.
You're
When
right.
you're in tune, you know when somebody comes in that room that they may be next to Susie.
Mhm.
You can do all you want. Don't come by.
Yes.
Like I know, like you're not supposed to be by me. Excuse myself or
Yeah.
politely or what. But when you become in tune with yourself, you protect
You
what's
do.
sacred because not everybody's supposed to be attached to you.
Mm. Or have access.
Or have access like that,
Yeah.
and that's a lot of people's problems. Too much
Mm.
access, exposed sometimes too early at things too. So you're exposed too early. You haven't developed mentally. And sometimes things that you're exposed too early, now you take and you have damage
Mhm.
going on in the brain. We don't look at it like that. So our mind, if our mind is sick, our body is sick. So we have
Yeah.
to heal this mind. How far is the damage? How deep is the damage?
Hmm.
And where are you of being really truthful with yourself of your healing? Because it's going to open up the truth. The truth just sets you free, but you have to be ready for it.
And it's gonna be honest, and it's gonna be real, and it's gonna be unfiltered,
Yeah. All that.
but that is the pathway to the medicine to heal.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not, no, no, and that's what I'm saying. They don't want to take the time
Mm,
to do the work.
yeah.
I want a quick fix. I want the microwave fix.
Mm.
I want it to happen now. Matter of fact, I don't even want to heal it. I just want to mask it.
Yeah, just go away. Like, I don't wanna deal with it. It does not exist, and everybody is okay.
Yeah.
I think someone told me earlier, it's like sweeping dirt under the rug.
Yeah.
I was having a conversation with, my sister's circle, and one of the ladies was talking about the same concept. It's
Right.
like there's a lot of us that don't want to do the work, or
They don't.
maybe in our minds we wanna do the work, but
Right.
the actual practice isn't there. It's not established, the dedication, the
Mm-mm.
discipline, the commitment, and everything. And so she was talking about how people just wanna sweep it under the rug, but
Right.
there's still dirt underneath
Right.
the
Right. Because they
it's
don't want
still
to speak. They
there.
don't want to speak on it. It
Yeah.
hurts too much. It means you have to do too much work. Nobody wants to do that work.
Mhm.
But in order for you to heal, you have to do the work.
You
And
gotta
then
go through it.
you demand it. And so now you're waking up wounds in them. And so now the wounds are reawoken up in them. Now you got to deal with that.
Yeah.
But because you have to stand your ground of what you believe in your healing journey, so you can be that light, so you can say it can be done and not get caught up and be manipulated by your emotions so they can heal. You see what I'm saying? It's deeper than
Yes,
that. You
it
got people who
is.
are connected to you. So any little thing to aggravate and trigger you to get you out of that, it's going to be done because you can't do this. You're not supposed to do this. Because if you do this, there's too many people connected to you could be healed.
That's right.
So if you break, the people who you're supposed to be the light for. So now think about this too. You're still giving of yourself, right? Because you're setting the tone of a standard of what it takes to do that.
Yeah.
There's a sacrifice that comes with that. So now the people that are connected to you, they're seeing this. Is she going to break? Oh, it's not going to work because they don't have that belief. But
Mhm.
when it is given and it shows, then they're like, oh my gosh, she did. She said it was going to do this. She said, like, pinpointed it, how it was going to happen. This was going to do it. But they didn't believe then. They couldn't believe. They couldn't stay along the journey long enough. They had to get off the train. Then when it all comes to pass and they see, she said this. She said it just like this. It's a legacy. What legacy are we leaving behind for our children and our children's children? What legacy are you leaving for our family because you were chosen, you were set apart? What legacy? Because somebody had to do it. Somebody has to go through it. Somebody has to go through the war. Somebody has to go through the forefront. Somebody has to stand in the gap because you were chosen for it. And it's not easy.
No, but it's worth
It is worth it. It is worth, and that's another thing too, and sometimes that being in that person in that position, it has moments. And you constantly have to talk to yourself and say, you know what? You know why you're doing this. You don't keep going back to those trigger points that you're used to because those are things that just like comes natural because it's been with you for so long. Right?
and they're fragments. It's not even the whole story at that moment,
Mm-mm.
in that time. There are these little pieces of memory that may or may not be distorted at that point,
Mhm.
right? That are still living in the nervous system because
Yes.
they have been with us for so long, and we're continuing to rewire and, you know, participate in replacement behaviors and all of
all
the
that.
terms,
Mhm.
but they're still there reminding ourselves
And you
that
feel
that's
it.
not true
Yeah, and you feel it. You
for
feel
you
the
now.
actual emotion
Yeah.
to the point to where it may not even be physically at that time happening to you,
Mhm.
right? And so it's not healthy. So people don't
Mhm.
say, mind is sick, the body's sick. Do you know
That's
what you're doing internally that you cannot see to your body? And if we can get to the point where we can heal the mind, we could heal the body properly, properly.
right.
And I believe that wholeheartedly. If I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and I know for a fact because my body has went through it, there's nothing nobody else could tell me. All I can do is be the light. All I can do is show it could be done.
You are the light. It's interesting that we're on this journey in
Mhm.
life, and there's little moments along the way that help us to be that. A friend told me once, it's a God wink where you're
Mhm.
like, it's that gentle reminder of like,
Yeah.
well done.
Well done. Yeah. Well
Yeah.
done. You have arrived.
Yeah.
And when you get to that, like you have arrived,
Mhm.
that's it. You
Yeah.
have arrived. But we're always going to keep growing. It's just at
Absolutely.
that moment you're released. I've
Yes.
arrived. Now, since I've arrived, what's the next chapter?
Yes. And we're more open to what comes with that chapter because we have all of these other past chapters that we have conquered, that we've
Yes.
healed through, that we've
Yes.
made peace with. We've become more in tune with ourselves,
Yes.
more wise, and
Hmm.
we're able to pass it forward.
Yep.
That's the legacy you're talking about.
And that's why I'm sitting here with you today. Because you know what? It'll come to your store. I always tell people it will come to your doorstep when
Mhm.
it's ready for you. Because if you're chasing anything, it's running from you. So anything that comes to your doorstep and you weren't least when you weren't even asking for it, you least expect it. It was meant. Because I didn't know you was gonna be there. You didn't know I was gonna be there. I didn't know you from nowhere. Whatever reason, we sat and it was just I could feel that connection,
So,
and you were meant to be there. That was a place that, you know what? I've arrived and I'm here and I'm gonna take it all. And whatever's for me is for me. If just one person comes and sit, that's fine. If 3 or 4 people come and sit, that's even better. But I know what I have. And if it means that I have to stand alone, then I'm willing to do that.
mm,
And that's a hard place to be because people want an audience, but it's not about the audience,
mm.
right? Authentic and organic sometimes doesn't come with an audience. So you were willing to stand knowing because you came and said, "Oh my God, I was like, why is she saying this?" I didn't know who you were, but it just didn't feel right you saying it, if that makes sense, because you were already it.
What did I say?
You were saying like, "Oh my God, I was kind of nervous and I didn't know."
Absolutely. I was
I
not going to come.
I said to myself, "Why is she saying this?"
Yeah.
To myself because to me, you have arrived.
Yeah.
You arrived. You're here. You made a statement. You
Mm.
had your chair set up. You had your cameras. You
Yeah.
had, your sign in.
Yeah.
You had the person, standing ready.
Yeah. My daughter.
Or your daughter, she ready. She did a beautiful job. You was ready. You had a smile on your face. You owned it.
Thank you.
You may not have felt it, but that's what I sensed when I was sitting next to you. And I thought, well, this is wonderful.
It was.
It was. And so you were easy to talk to. I could tell that, you have a genuine heart and that you're excited for this journey and the stories need to be told because this is how you empower women to have a voice in the silence that they've been silent and continue on doing it. You have to.
Been running from this work for a long time, knowing that I'm called to be present and to do life with us in ways that are intentional, the
Mhm.
containers protected,
Mhm.
and really the difference is that it's being recorded with audio.
I know. It's
It's
the
like,
you have to get past you need the visibility. And this is the way. It's going out.
I guess so, because I told you I was not
And this is the way it's
going to
going now.
come.
Yeah, this is the way it's going now. This is it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about anybody else. Worry about your stuff. Because people are looking for truth. They really are. They're really looking for truth. They just need to have a space for it, right? And so if you give them an opportunity to try to express themselves truthfully,
Mhm.
then you're gonna see, oh my goodness, like I feel comfortable. It just feels authentic. It feels like, I can just, you know, talk freely. Like you said, when you said, yeah, just come, no script.
Yeah.
Yes. That's what I'm talking about. No script. Oh my gosh. Cause that's another, that to me, that I don't like that either.
Yeah.
Cause now, okay, now you're rehearsed.
Mhm.
I don't like
Mhm.
rehearsed. I want to know who you are. It's like,
I
you show up
agree.
unexpected. I don't like nobody coming unexpected. If you show unexpected and you're like, oh, you kind of just get to see, right?
Yeah.
Unexpected, you know?
Mhm.
Sometimes you got to do drive
Yeah.
by.
You're like, "I'm just popping in."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But when you have conversations that are organic, you want them to flow
Yeah, you wanted to
without
flow. You wanted to flow. Yeah.
there being this performance.
Right. That's true. No, it's
And we're
definitely
in a world of
all right.
performing
Everything's a highlight. Everything.
everything.
Until you show up and they have to perform
Yeah.
and you realize they're just a highlight.
Yes.
So behind the screen, it looks good.
Yes.
But then you get to be around and you notice that
This ain't it.
this ain't it. This ain't it. And here you're thinking, that's why they need people like you, authentic. So I appreciate you having me come on your space in an atmosphere like this.
Yeah.
I'm honored.
Yeah. I am too. Thank you for allowing me
Yes.
to
Thank you.
do life with you and
Yes,
share
yes.
space with you.
Mhm. Yeah. We'll have to, like you say, stay connected.
Please.
More things. I'm a very creative person. Visions. I know you have visions.
Yes.
And I believe that, like women like us that could come together and see other women heal and be the best that they can be.
Oh yeah.
Could you, I mean, just imagine, and I see it. When women can really come together and not be so petty with
Mm.
each other and really heal
Yeah.
and be ready to heal, and you have a group of women that are healed, and you just keep doing that and
Mhm.
keep doing that. How powerful. Because there's other women out there that really that are broken, and they're not even dressed up. I mean,
Mhm.
there's women out there that I come into, quite often.
Yeah.
And they live on the street for whatever reason. That's somebody's queen. Things like that. There's women out there that are broken, authentic, organic, not somebody who's trained. I'm talking about people who really, like, you see it. How do you reach a person like that? If you get a big enough community, you can reach those broken women like that. Because there's a lot of women that are in dark, dark, dark places. And I've been around to worked with in different areas like that. And just, it's sad. And a person like you, a person
Mhm.
like me, and everybody connected like things like that.
Yeah.
I believe in a community like that you can really reach.
Absolutely. And we can gather these women and carry them.
Before we end, there is how I know there's a particular woman that I got a call one day. I need you to call her. She's living in a car. I don't know what's going on. I go, who is this person? She's in New York. I said, okay. I call her and she's crying on the phone. I don't know this woman from nowhere, but I got a call to say I needed to call you. Smart woman. Smart. She struggles mentally. To have to walk her through to keep her mindset, to stay stable while she's living in her car, and then walk you through to where you're out of your car and you have some housing to I finally get to meet a person that she's not in the car anymore. We're writing a book together and she's going through healing process. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'll never forget that moment. It's like, it's not, you can't pick and choose who's coming in. How good is it supposed to be? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because greatness could be somebody just like that, smart, intelligent, but life just beat them down.
Wow.
But willing to trust me, I don't know you. You don't know me, but because we finally, now we know each other,
Mm.
we have a lot of similarities. She don't trust nobody either. You know what I'm saying? But it was willing to, at that moment, she knew she needed to trust somebody. It just so
Yeah.
happened to be me. Mind alignment. That's what it's about. You never know who's going to come into your life. You never know when you're going to have to speak life into somebody. And you never know what condition they're going to be in, but we have to be ready to be there
And be obedient.
and be obedient and be patient because you don't know how deep the wounds go. When we're healing organically, it takes time.
It does.
Takes a little bit longer, but when you get there, you're there.
Oh, yeah. And the healing is long term,
Yeah.
right? Because the time has been taken, the investment is there, the resources are there, the care is there, the community is there. I always say there's a power in togetherness.
Yes, there is.
And we heal each other. We can heal ourselves as our own medicine, but there is something so divine about women healing other women. It
Yes.
is our unique medicine.
But we have to be willing to do it, and we have to be right. So I appreciate so much for having me.
Thank you.
We'll do this again.
Yes, honey, come give me some love.
Yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for trusting. Yes, but hey, you already know. Thank you.
Thank you for your patience too,
No, no, no,
because I
no.
was like,
No, no, no.
when I looked at the phone
Hmm?
earlier,